Hello everybody, welcome to Speed Force Media. My name is Derek. Today we are talking about a bunch of different movie news, and there's a bunch of movie news to get through this week. We had a lot of stuff come out, so make sure to come back to the channel to get more updates. Today we're talking about Superman Legacy and the Flash movie, as well as a new update on the Hellboy film. Now let's start with The Flash. The Flash poster and stills feature multiple versions of the Scarlet Speedster, as well as a new look at Supergirl and more. Now, with Warner Brothers releasing the film at CinemaCon last month, there has of course been a lot more rumors, leaks, images, all sorts of different stuff coming from the film, which is a little bit unfortunate, but this movie and the full script released online over a year ago. So if anybody was really desperately looking to try and get spoiled for the movie, like myself, you were absolutely able to back then. And I don't think it's going to overall dampen the enthusiasm for this movie. There's a lot of hype around this movie, not just for the future of the DCU moving forward, but the Flash is an awesome fucking character, man. I mean, he is a iconic DC character, is a founding member of the Justice League, and he's just now finally getting his first movie. This movie looks awesome. All the trailers look great. Michael Keaton is coming back as Batman, baby. Every time we talk about it, it gets more and more exciting. And of course, the rumors and the theories surrounding the other Barry, the Barry in this timeline that is presumably the past version of Dark Flash, we're all kind of assuming the same thing, right? That the other Barry with long hair Barry is going to grow up and one day become the Dark Flash. That's just an assumed theory from a lot of people online. And it seems like every day we're getting more and more shots of this movie, as well as a look at some new posters. I mean, you got this one right here, if it's on the screen for you at the moment, where there's a nice parallel between the two different Flashes. And I remember kind of a similar promotional work for season 3 of The Flash when they were bringing in Savitar. This is kind of a similar looking image, minus the differences in lighting or differences in color. With more and more images of this movie being released, I think it just looks better and better. And I cannot wait to see the behind the scenes for this film as well. Not just how this movie was made, how did they rebuild the Batmobile and all of the different suits, what went into all of the different special effects and having two different versions of Barry Allen on screen. I would love to see all of that and more. Am I alone in that? What do you guys think? Are you excited for the movie? Do you excited to see some of the behind the scenes stuff? And what do you think of the new images? Moving on to Superman Legacy. Now, this is the one that's got everybody talking because this week a number of big names came into the conversation. By far the biggest name that originally was being rumored to play Superman for Superman Legacy is now to be said the only actor in consideration for Lex Luthor, which is Nicholas Hoult. There are conflicting reports doing the rounds about which character Hoult is going to be playing or is auditioning to be playing, but The Hollywood Reporter covered that Rachel Brosnahan says that she has in fact auditioned for the role of Lois Lane. Alright, and then we also got Bradley Cooper was reported from My Time to Shine Hello, claimed that the actor was none other than auditioning for Lex Luthor, which, yeah, if you shave Bradley Cooper, he looks like Lex Luthor straight out of the New 52 comics. I think Bradley Cooper's an amazing actor, but it was reported that Gunn also met with other black actors for Luthor, who is being referred to internally as the Apex version of the character. Whether this will be a superpowered take on Lex is way too early to tell, but it does sound like they were not able to make it work with Bradley Cooper. But it is interesting to see that we're seeing some of these same names, whether it's Nicholas Hoult or Bradley Cooper, being thrown around for multiple different roles. Originally, we heard reports that Bradley Cooper was interested in the DCU Batman role, and then we heard, which nobody substantial ever backed up that claim, but then we heard Nicholas Hoult was going to be playing Batman for Batman, or he was runner-up to Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's, and then we heard he was going to be playing Superman, and then we heard he's going to be playing Lex Luthor. And it's interesting that these same actors keep being rumored for different roles. Do you think that really they only ever auditioned for one role and all the trades are getting it wrong on which character these these actors are actually auditioning for? Or do you think that they're keeping these same actors and that James Gunn is saying, yeah, I really want to work with Nicholas Hoult. I see that he's a talented kid, or not kid, but and he's a talented actor. And honestly, I think he's one of those few actors that if you inserted him as Batman, Superman, or Lex Luthor, he would give you a decent job, even a good job in probably any of the three roles. That is, of course, just my opinion. There is also the big report that an actor named David Corenswet is the top contender to play Clark Kent Superman. This was reported from the Hollywood Reporter, saying that he made it to the screen test stage of the audition process, and this is expected to take place later this month or early next. Deadline, for its part, reported that Nicholas Hoult is in the running to play Clark Kent Superman during that same time. The Hollywood Reporter then, however, said Hoult might be in the line to play the villain Lex Luthor. So, you have the Hollywood Reporter, you have Deadline, and you have other major trades kind of battling it out, saying, no, I heard that he's going for Superman, I heard he's going for Lex Luthor. It's probably somewhere in the middle is where the truth is. I am personally not familiar with David Corenswet. He does look like he could play a Superman. Like, if you look at Superman from the comics, I think, yeah, he's got the look down. I think Nicholas Hoult also has the look down. So if we're just basing it off of looks, then I'd say, yeah, they both look the part. I've never seen David Corenswet. He looks like Pearl is the best thing he's known from, so I can't say whether or not he's a great actor, a terrible choice. I don't know. Nicholas Hoult is a great actor, though. I think he could crush it as Superman. So it will be very interesting to see if we get a more of a no-name actor like David Corenswet, or if we go with the more well-known Nicholas Hoult. I honestly see them going more the Lex Luthor route for Nicholas Hoult. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the fact that this guy was originally looked at for a darker role like Batman, and then looked for a more bigger, hopeful, brighter role like Superman. The guy has a wide range of abilities. He's a great actor, so I think he could honestly do any of the three. And as far as David Corenswet, he at least looks the part, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Alright, and that brings it to our last topic. New Hellboy reboot wraps filming. Now, I am somebody that is not the world's biggest Hellboy fan. I saw the first, I believe, 2 movies with Ron Perlman way back in the day, early 2000s, growing up as a kid, and I never checked out the newer reboot that they put out a few years ago from the actor from Lost. And now, just weeks after being announced, the latest Hellboy film has now wrapped production. What in the fuck? Sunday, Hellboy creator Mike Mignola revealed the production wrapped principal photography, which had been underway in Bulgaria. Though exact dates haven't been available or revealed, it is believed that Hellboy the Crooked Man is already calling the project the most faithful Hellboy adaptation to date. Quote, I wasn't on set for this one, but they have been nice enough to send me dailies, and I have to say, I have loved what I've been seeing. If fans have been waiting for a Hellboy film that is actually an adaptation of one of my stories, I think they are finally going to get one. The legendary comics creator went on to congratulate the filmmakers involved in the production, including Crank and Ghost Rider 2 Helmer Brian Taylor. Congratulations to director Brian Taylor and a really wonderful cast, and to co-writer Chris Golden, who did so much to figure out how to give the studio what they wanted, and still keep true to the heart and soul of the Crooked Man, my favorite of the Hellboy stories, the writer added. I wish Richard Corbin was still around to see this. They did a wonderful job bringing this really horrific character to life. His intention is to make a horror movie, so that'll be nice. I read the new draft of the screenplay yesterday, and yes, it is definitely R. It is the first Hellboy script that I read, and I went, oh, it's a horror movie, which is what I wanted. Taylor does not have a reputation as a horror movie director, but so far, we've had 2 horror movie directors make Hellboy movies, and we've never gotten a horror movie. He added, for years we've been saying if you're going to make a Hellboy movie, make it small. And the perfect story to do that with is my personal favorite, The Crooked Man. I think it's one of the best things I've ever written. It's beautifully illustrated by Richard Corbin, and it's a solid story that doesn't involve a million different characters. Everybody actually agreed from the very beginning, yes, we want to do that one. Budget-wise, it's good because it's a lower budget kind of story. It's not the Hellboy origin. It's not Hellboy saving the world. It's not huge. It's subtle, dark little folk horror story. So there you guys have it. That is from a Hellboy writer himself. Now, sounds like this movie is going to be a much smaller, lower budget horror kind of film with maybe some comic book elements, which I think is a great way to go into a Hellboy movie. Now, like I said, I am not a Hellboy expert. I barely know anything about the character at all, just from what I remember from watching those first two movies way back when. Now, like I said, I never checked out the recent new reboot, and apparently this is the second reboot from Hellboy. This is not a sequel to the newer Hellboy movie. And it sounds like they're not trying to make a comic book movie. They're not trying to make a superhero movie. They're not trying to make it big. They're not trying to make him save the world or destroy the world at the end of the movie. This is going to be a small, lower budget horror film with a comic book character, which I think is honestly a great idea. Wrapped production in 7 weeks, or wrapped filming. I think that's not really all that crazy. I don't think that's super fast for a smaller film. For a big budget comic book movie, absolutely that would raise a lot of eyebrows, and you would think, well, that seems a little quick. But overall, I am excited to hear this. I do like horror movies. I do like hearing about smaller comic book movies from independent comic book companies that aren't just Marvel and DC. So what do you guys think about this piece of news? Not only is there a new Hellboy movie coming, maybe you already knew about that. I didn't. But what do you think about that? What do you think about it being a horror movie as opposed to more of the same from what we've gotten already? But that will do it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to hit subscribe button so you never miss another upload and you stay up to date with all of our movie news. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Derek, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.